Hey everybody, welcome back. Today is August 7th, 2022. How is everyone hanging on for Lionsgate Portal? We're actually in it right now. This is where you can already feel this peak of energy coming through. So some of you may be on vacation, somewhere open, somewhere away from your old life, right? All these different energies that you're typically surrounded with are kind of pulling and tugging you as you're trying to go about your path. But when we take a vacation away from all of it, we have time to be with our thoughts, be with our mind. And this is when the message will come through. You get more clarity, you get more downloads, you get more insight of the path that you're taking. So notice around this time frame, are you taking a vacation? Are you on a break? Or you're away from your typical environment? Okay, and if not, if you're more, more attached to this reality, whether it's be family or work, where you're not able to get away, an important thing to do during this time frame is really to go internal. Okay, and when you get the chance, when you get the opportunity, spend some time alone. It's really important during this time frame that you spend the time alone, because the portal, the peak is tomorrow, and you got the Seer's Gateway, which is the portal opening up from the heavens, and you also have the portals to the underworld open, which is more on the east side of the world, the ghost month. So you got your west over here, and you got your east on the other side. So wherever you are in the world, just kind of tune in to see which pole, I guess you say this is like pole shift happening, an internal pole shift. Notice which side of the world you're closer to. If you're closer to the east, that's a more yin energy, divine feminine, the shadows, the darkness, your intuition, that's more on the east side, okay? Even if you go to Asia, you notice the men are built more feminine. The women are a lot more feminine, more submissive, more nurturing. Now, if you're closer to the west side, the US is more of the yang energy, more divine masculine, more dominance, more power, right? So you can notice how people are fighting for power when they tend to not nurture their divine feminine side. So it creates this imbalance. So wherever the side of the world you're on, whether you grew up in the West most of the time, notice if your energy is more masculine, or if you grew up in the East a lot of times, notice if your energy is more feminine, more nurturing, okay? So during this Lionsgate portal, I would say as I progress through the years working with Moldavite, this would be the most important time frame of the year. It is the celestial new year. So, we have our, the Asia side, they have the moon calendar, right? Moon is more with the more yin energy. And the west side, they go with the sun calendar. But here we go, we got the celestial calendar. This is when you're up there with the stars. This is where Moldavite comes through, because Moldavite is the energy from the heavens, from outer space. It's a higher frequency that only those who work with this, I would say, would understand. Otherwise, I may be going overhead with all this stuff that I'm channeling, what I experienced through my experiencing, working with so much Moldavite. And so you got your moon calendar, you got your sun calendar, now you got your celestial calendar, which this is the new year during this Lionsgate portal. I believe on 8/7, which is today, is the New Year's Eve. Could be New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It's around this time frame, 8/7/8/8. And even in Feng Shui, the new calendar doesn't start until the 6th or 7th of each month. So we're right on the wave of the new year of this Lionsgate portal, this celestial new year. So take a look at your life. Old relationships are leaving. Old things are leaving. The more you hang on to them, is the more you're hanging on to this old version of you. Okay, So in the previous episodes, I've been sharing with you guys like how to prepare for this Lionsgate portal. Because if you look at it, we're this computer system and we can only hold so much storage. Every cord we have with someone takes up space. Every material items we have takes up space, right? We're using our energy to work, to make money, to buy that material items. So that material items is our energy in physical form. Make sense? Now we have all these material items gathered up, all these cords of different people. So if you want to make room for this new energy that's opening up right now, you would have to clear a lot of the physical. Now, this depends on where you are on your journey to enlightenment. Now, you hear different teachers, different gurus. You know, before I was never into this spirituality work, and it never really affected me because I was so stuck on my 3D world, the physical world of the material. Financial advising, you're talking about money, you're talking about physical material items. But as I go through my awakening, especially with Moldavite, it expands me so fast as such a short period of time that money is energy. There's an energetic exchange for everything we do. Okay, so later this year, I'm gonna be bridging my my financial advising skills into the physical. My spiritual meets the physical. Okay, there's so much here that I want to bring forth and just break this veil of deceiving how the collective, those in power are holding this or keeping us stuck in this old matrix of lack and scarcity. So that is something I have planned for this following year. How to work with money as energy and using my financial advising skill to integrate that. I think it's gonna be very powerful. And especially when you are being pulled to follow your purpose, there's gonna be a stage where you have this complete ego death, and then your business is gonna come through. Your business is gonna have its own consciousness, its own entity, right? When you start making your business an LLC, a sole proprietor, when you start detaching yourself from the business, your business is gonna have its own consciousness. So keep that in mind. When you're ready to detach your ego from your business, this is when you can really talk to your business as an entity, right? And again, if you're in a job, a company, also keep in mind that that company has its own consciousness. How it came into form, who was in leadership, the co-workers, the employees, they are part of building up this consciousness within your workspace. So whenever you're shifting in vibration, let's say for me, the moment I knew the insurance world, the financial world wasn't for me, was when I started coming across there's something about this that just doesn't sit right? With all this stuff in insurance, how they, again, the greed and the corruption of these industries, it no longer resonates with my energetic field. And yes, I can take a deep dive in and then bring spirituality to it. But at that time, it was best for me to leave, detach, go on my spiritual awakening, heal what I need to heal here, cut all the cords, cleanse my space, so I could have this complete ego death, like death of an old me. So this last 4 years work with Moldavite, every year it seems like I go through a death of an old. But something about this year is like a complete death. Like I've released so much material items, relationships, friendships, cord cutting, past life. It's to a point where I'm like, okay, I don't know what else I could release. I literally have nothing in my possession except the most valuable thing you can say right now is just my family and my Moldavite. But everything else, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Like now, the way I view at material items, I know that when my vibration raises, and if whatever old material items I have doesn't resonate with me anymore, either I can change the energy of the material items, or if it's easier, just let it go, right? Same thing with clothes. Like you have clothes you saved up for a very long time, and you're like, I'm gonna save this when I get really fit. I'll tell you, when you get really fit, you may not even want that clothes anymore, right? Because that energy may be of the old you. So wherever you are in your journey, just keep this in mind. This is what I've experienced going through working with so much Moldavite. And so where is it going with this? Okay, so I was sharing with you about like all these different gurus, all these ascended masters. I never understood it. But here's the thing. Different ascended masters, different gurus, different teachers, they perhaps, if they did reach enlightenment, they went down their own path. So there's not just one path to enlightenment, there's multiple paths to enlightenment. And enlightenment is just not in this lifetime. It goes back to multiple lifetimes. So this is something I never understood, like past life. I never understood this aspect until my second or third year work with Moldavite, and then it just all came into my energy field. Past life keeps showing up everywhere. Connections to people where I was like, when you look at this person, you're like, I know you from somewhere. You see directly into their soul. It's a strong connection. Okay, so I'll give you another example, and this is going to lead way into the Lion's Gate activation tomorrow. So as we're talking, so for me, I'm stepping into this heart chakra energy. Many of you may be experiencing this healing the heart, okay? So way back when, at least 10 years ago, I was dating a guy, and I remember at that time he started waking up, and he was very into the church. And I remember I came back from study abroad, and we connected again, but he became this ordained pastor where it was a shock to me. Before, we would do things like hang out, right, the normal 3D stuff, but now all I can hear is follow God, follow this path, follow the church, go to Bible study. And it's this consistent energy of trying to convert me. Now I'll tell you, at that time I was not ready. I did not want to hear it. But perhaps the way it was brought to me, and especially there's a lot of things about the church I don't resonate with. There are some things I do. But I felt like now looking back at my relationship with him back then, he was starting to wake up, similar like to a lot of us are happening right now. We're starting to wake up and we're getting all these downloads. Apocalypse, oh my God, doomsday, prophecies, like what's gonna happen. He went through that wave. It's like, hey, like you need to save yourself or repent. At that time, it freaked me out. Honestly, it freaked me out because I didn't believe it. But when he was going through it, it was very real to him. And now looking back at my beginning stage of my awakening, if you go back to my very first few videos, there was an episode of me talking about the Bible prophecy and like this fear in my eyes about there is a doomsday coming. Like I was having vivid dreams. It was terrifying, right? And now knowing what I know, especially there was this one thing about this apocalypse, this pole shift. I was very adamant like a pole shift was going to happen. I shared with my family. They all thought I was crazy. I started doing more YouTube videos. Just like, I need to get this message out. It was so, I just needed to share the message. So for those who are going through that phase, it's okay. I'll share with you what I experienced through my journey, and then you can get an idea of how it relates to you. So with this ex, long story short, it didn't work out. It was just too much. Like, I gave in and I went to Bible study, but here's the thing, when you're vibrating at 2 different frequencies and it's not in resonance, it's not gonna work out. Unless the other person is willing to do the work, recalibrate to your frequency, or at least both of you are flowing in energy, right? Mutual agreements. Otherwise, it's gonna be one person putting too much energy into the other person who's not able to hear you. So the church can only teach him so much, and it kind of capped out. Now, like, as I'm going to past life, all this deeper energy work, the church will only teach you so much, right? I believe there's more things that are hidden that are not shared, but you'll come to that realization the further along you are on your journey. So that was my first exposure to someone going through an intense awakening, and it just happened very fast. So fast forward, this last couple weeks, I've been doing, like, as I was preparing for this Lionsgate, I was just doing so much cord cutting. Whatever shows up, I disconnect, right? I ask my intuition, is this worth keeping the cord? If not, release. So here's the thing. We tend to get attached to, wow, this is the person, like, that's my soulmate. That is it. You get so attached to this person in form that there's another layer that we're not really aware of. And so I'll tell you one thing. If you disconnect a cord with someone and the cord is not meant to be cut yet, trust me, the cord will come back. The cord will reestablish again until the lesson is learned. Now, if you're doing these cord cuttings, cut the cords with the people in your past that maybe has no relevance anymore, right? When I was going through these, my regressions, old high school friends showed up. Release. And then I noticed, oh, what's a common denominator in these names? It was a common energy. Can I release it? Release, right? The physical world, you can release so much until you're like run out of things to give away or donate. Then you gotta go internal. Internal, you do your body. There's only so much that you work your body to clear. Then you gotta go in the soul level. This is where past life comes through. So, did all this clearing, cutting cords with my old coworkers, old colleagues, old school friends, elementary, bullies in schools. It's just release. And you notice as you're doing this release, those people doesn't show up in your thoughts anymore. Because if you get a random thought about someone and you wonder, why am I thinking about this person? Sometimes it's just, there's still a cord attached. So the more we purge, the more you merge back with your soul. Remember, there are some lessons you need to get to the root of to learn the lesson before you can completely detach. And there's a other route where you can just cut as much as you can, and whoever's meant to be back in your life, the cord will reestablish. But for me right now, right, this stage where I'm shifting into this complete ego death, I just cut the cords. Even with the people I felt like, this could be a possible soulmate or twin flame. Nope, cut it off. Here's the thing I really got clear about. If that other soul is indeed my other half, then they will know to come find each other. Because the heart will always come find this other half of the heart. You're in resonance. So if you're so attached to someone and you feel like this is the person and it's not mutual, there's something to look at. Cut them. What is the fear behind cutting this cord? Is it a fear of losing someone? Is it a fear of not being stable? Is there a fear of I can't do better, or this person is mine, or they're out of my league? Whatever it is, there's something there for you to look at. And when you release this cord, you're gonna feel like a shift in your energy field. And if they're meant to come back, if you are meant to be truly soulmates, when you get back into alignment with yourself, remember, we're all trying to get into alignment. When something traumatic happens, we go off course. And then this is why regression is important, because we go back and see where the timeline split, right? So again, the enlightenment is here. And we're trying to get to alignment to get to alignment with source, ourself. But throughout this path, we're going to go through different traumas, different experiences that shifts us off course. And during those off course, we're going to meet different people that the soul feels similar, but it's just not who you feel like is your soulmate. Okay? So as you start doing this work, extracting the energy and getting yourself back into that timeline, alignment timeline, then there's going to be a phase where you're going to get realignment with who you're meant to be with. You're going to start noticing the people that come into your life, or these soulmates energy. One, it's going to be, you're going to start seeing a pattern, right? This with the soulmate energy. And two, when you're going this journey, it's like, wow, I feel like there might be my twin flame, my soulmate, but there's something that's just a little bit off, right? Whether it be age, whether it be sex, whether it be the way they have kids, or whatever it is. If it doesn't feel right, and if it's not mutual, then it's probably still more work to do. Maybe they're not the one. But you won't know that until you really do the inner work to get into alignment. And I'll tell you one thing. When the other person, your soulmate, does the work and get to realignment, both know to come find each other. Like, I really am really clear. Like, I feel like this is what's happening. And, I've been doing a lot of inner work, tuning into, picking up a signal. This past week, I've been picking up the signal of my other soulmate. And they're coming up in dreams. When I tune in and when I go into deep meditation, I'm actually communicating to this signal that's picking up on the other side. So somewhere along the line, like, we're gonna meet. Exciting time. It feels like this divine union, this pole shift from within. Okay, this alignment of within. Yes, there's gonna be a physical, now there's gonna be a soul ego death, is what many of you may be experiencing right now, of a death of an old you. As you shift into this higher octave of this higher energy, the heart chakra, and up. This year is the year that this other half of me in physical form is going to come through. And just follow the journey. We'll see where this leads. Okay, wow, I have quite a bit of message for everyone here today. Okay, so if you're here till the end of the video, congratulations. I hope you follow the flow. So tomorrow on 8/8, I gonna open up room for 11 people for this Lionsgate activation. Oh, another thing. So my shaman is in Egypt right now. Her name is Trina. She actually was the person that helped guided me to bury these Moldavites. So she's recently been called to Egypt on 8/8. So she has one of my Moldavites over there. I gave her photos of some of the Moldavites to anchor in the energy through. And so that set is going to be activated with the Egypt energy for tomorrow. So I'm going to be opening up that solar plexus set, and it's going to be downloading whatever Egyptian energy wants to come through. So at first I thought it was Mount Shasta energy, but actually I feel now with the new energies of the Egypt coming through for this set, it's going to be very focused on the solar plexus. You're talking about this lion's energy, this power energy, this divine masculine energy, this guardian energy. That's going to be working with tomorrow. So if you feel called for that session tomorrow, 11:45 a.m. Central Time, link is in the description, and we'll be working with the Egyptian energy at the pyramids. So we'll see what unfolds. All right, if you watch to the end of this video, then probably this message is for you. Use your intuition check to see if you are one of the person called for tomorrow, and sign-ups are in the description below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great Lionsgate portal, And I'll see you when I see you. Timmy Doo, signing out.